Rolling Thunder, or High Voltage, is an SBF Visa spinning coaster with a hamster wheel at Big Rivers Waterpark and Adventure Park. But is this coaster an enjoyable addition for Houstonians? And just how good is the hamster wheel? Find out in this review. Big Rivers Waterpark and Adventure Park is part of the larger Grand Texas Sports and Entertainment District, which is notable to Houstonians as it promises to house Grand Texas Theme Park, a proposed theme park with 7 different themed areas. For now though, only the water park is open, with an accompanying fairground and a few dry attractions. With the fairgrounds, however, they were able to open a roller coaster in Rolling Thunder to get on the map as one of the 5 roller coasters currently in the Houston area. Although SBF Visa has been around since 1952, they seem to only have started making roller coasters since 1996, as that's when the oldest coaster in the roller coaster database, Den Allen Minster, at Tysonfrøyd in Norway, debuted. Then, they sparked a wildfire of coasters in 2014 when they debuted their spinning coaster around the globe, with the oldest operating installments in the United States being Crazy Coaster at Silverwood Theme Park and Myrtle Turtle at Pavilion Park. Although Siam Amazing Park markets their Boomerang as the most popular coaster in the world, Boomerangs only number in at 53 installations, whereas there have been over 130 installations of these coasters worldwide, with 71 versions of the classic MX608 Park Model A, which is found at San Antonio's Incredible Pizza. 22 MX609 3-loop models have been made, as well as a few more unique models such as Alley Cat's Hearsts that looks basically the same as the others, or more particularly, ones with hamster wheels that are ultimately likely similar to the basic design of a figure-8 track with 4 spinning cars, though a third helix or loop, hence 3 loops, can be added as well. Though the roller coaster database lists this coaster as high voltage due to the naming convention of preferring the name on the ride itself, the park maps, website, and ride plaque all refer to it as Rolling Thunder. Plus, multiple employees of the park have confirmed that the name is Rolling Thunder. So I'll stick with the name in actual use, Rolling Thunder, for clarity's sake in this review. Rolling Thunder is an MX620 mixed coaster, which only has 4 versions worldwide. The main feature of this model is the hamster wheel at the end that allows riders to be inverted at various parts throughout the ride. Located in the fairgrounds, there are 6 other flat rides that operators will rotate through, depending on demand. Most riders seem to prefer the coaster, so there likely will be an operator at the coaster or nearby even on slow days. On my many visits, they had about 3 operators rotating between the fairground rides, which was more than enough to support demand. If standing by the entrance doesn't get an operator's attention, just walk around and find one and ask them to come over to the coaster, or whichever ride you want. The operators were all super nice and friendly from my experience. As far as seat placement, I had a preference at times for the very front of the train, as this seemed to allow the best spinning. Normally, these coasters just barely spin with the turns, which is what happened to me while riding in the middle cars. The front offered a bit more spinning on par with a normal spinning coaster, so it offered a bit more than this model normally does. I also preferred the third car, as you get a tiny bit more laterals on the dropping turn. Since you can ride as many times as you want, a rarity for these types of coasters, as they can charge you $8 per ride at other parks, you can easily try and ride as many rows as you want to see just how much, if any, seat placement on this coaster matters. For thrill seekers, the hamster wheel is superior, as the flip does a lot more than the spinning cars. For the wheel, you will be locked in place with padding around your head. While comfortable and well padded, you can likely bang your head a little bit, though you should be held strongly in place given the seating setup. After departing the station, you travel up a curved lift hill that allows you to get some views of the surrounding area. You do start spinning a little going up, though not a lot. At the top, The hamster wheel will be pushed to do a flip. Afterwards, you technically are free to continue flipping or otherwise rock back and forth, though I normally only got light rocking. It feels similar, though not exactly, like flipping on an S&S Freespan, which it is cool to see that kind of flipping on a different coaster type. When riding with a partner, we were held upside down a bit longer, which amplified the forces during the turn, and some rides, even solo rides that I've gotten, have held the inversion all the way through the station. You don't get super awesome hang time as you're tightly held into place, but you will experience some forces as well as some strong inverted laterals that can easily mess with your head. After the top of the hill, you go down the largest drop on the ride, a 270-degree curved drop back into the station. This drop offered me a small, if any, drop sensation, though it varies depending on how the forces play in your car. If you're not spinning, you will likely spin with the drop, which will negate most of the laterals or other forces that you could get from this drop. If you're able to take the drop spinning or backwards, then this mild drop can be magnified slightly by your seating position and offer a mild drop sensation. It's still not a great job, and I feel the overall car configuration actually hurts this drop, as the spinning trains will likely mask more of the forces of the drop than they will help bring out. The hamster wheel doesn't help much with this drop either, as you're flipping upside down, so you can't really feel much, if anything, of the drop here. Being upside down while making the turns, though, adds weird and relatively painful forces to your head. These aren't terrible, and in a park with few other rides, it is not the end of the world. It is just not something that is super enjoyable to me, as this turn could potentially hurt a bit more than it will give you back in enjoyment. Then, you come to what should be the best part of the ride, a sharp turn into the station. However, with the added hamster wheel, this turn is more drawn out, so it doesn't play any different than the other turns on the coaster. So except for mild spinning, it is rather absent of decent forces or roller coaster elements. As for the hamster wheel, you will continue rocking through this portion of the ride, but there isn't too much else you will do in your seating position until you flip again at the top of your next lap. Then, this coaster will complete 2 or 3 more laps, with a total of 3 or 4 in all. Initial rides on this coaster gave me 4 laps, but recently it has been running with only a 3-lap cycle. Normally, these coasters do about 8 laps, so this is definitely on the lesser side. Likely, you will get to spin just enough that each lap will play slightly differently when it comes to forces, but the general feel of each lap will be similar. The hamster wheel has a bit more consistency, though how quickly you flip and how strong the rocking will be, or if you're held upside down for a long time, will vary. At the end, you will pass through the station before braking on the lift hill. You will go up about halfway before slowly, and it does seem to be very slowly on this coaster, being released backwards into the station. Overall, how good is Rolling Thunder? Despite their appearance, these are some of my least favorite coasters, as they just don't offer a lot in terms of forces or enjoyment. If you can get the front car spinning, this could be an okay kiddie-style spinning coaster, but I generally wish I was riding a kiddie coaster instead of one of these most of the time. The hamster wheel, though, offers a unique experience, but doesn't add much to the overall coaster experience. I rank this as the best SBF Visa spinner that I've been on, because of that hamster wheel. But it still barely places above Fiesta Texas's Boomerang, as Rolling Thunder isn't too enjoyable and does beat me up. I rank it right below Six Flags Over Georgia's Blue Hawk, which beats me up in not too enjoyable of a way, while offering not much in terms of thrills, at least for me. How good do you find the hamster wheels on coasters? Do you enjoy these SBF Visa spinners? Let me know. And as always, Cupcoon Crap.